Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own research analysis before making any investment based on your personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you find on our website or podcast and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. What's up, my future one percenters? This is Marathon Money, brought to you by Windcrease.com. I'm Cam Jones, and I'm here with my homie, Kenny Coins. What up, man?
What up, man? How's it been going?
Man, been chilling. Been liking these little games. If you think about it, man, you see our boys Take Two came up.
Blessings.
Yeah, I know, man. It was looking bad for a second there.
Whoa, 2 quarters. 2 quarters. You know what I mean?
Man, it was looking bad. I mean, it ain't no guarantee it's about to stay here, but...
Well, more likely it will, because it did break resistance, you know.
It did. My problem is, though, they're up. They're overbought. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, we know. I'm not gonna say that means very little, but it means something. You know what I'm saying? To me,
man, honestly, we're up like $3. That's
hey,
it.
but that's being down. That's better than being down. We was down like, a couple hundred to 1,000. When it was down there at like $86. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I mean,
man, if you take a look at the second quarter, I honestly everything since we bought this up, besides COTY, who's down 0.17%.
I know they basically flat. They flat.
They're not even 0.5% down.
Right. So we made a comeback, man. We made that Toronto Raptors comeback right there.
Of course, Facebook hitting 18%. Glue
balling.
Oh, a little disappointed in Glue this week.
Overall, though, they balling. You know what I'm saying?
Overall, they balling. For the second quarter, man, it came down. MTBC broke resistance. I
mean, hey, we say this every week, man. When it get up toward that 550 area, you gotta bounce. You gotta get out, man.
So it's down 15% up. DocuSign almost like 99%. Fun. It had a big week. You know what I mean? Finally making some moves.
Yeah, Fun. They had $56. So, I mean, we calling them like we see them. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of these stocks, man, the summer's coming around. It's like right around the corner, and a lot of things are finna change. Summers are tough. I always feel like the summers are the toughest months.
I feel like the summers are good months, man.
Man, for me, the summers are the toughest months. You know what I mean? So many things are going on. People taking vacations. You know what I mean? A lot of things are not happening, not running as smoothly as the rest of the 8-9 months of the year.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Well, I think that it is running smoothly, but I think people are taking vacations and stuff like that. But I feel like when it's warmer out, people are generally happier, more willing to spend money, and if they're spending money, they're spending it on something, most likely in Amazon.
Yeah, 100%. Most likely in Amazon, they're spending their money. I wanted to bring up to you Teledoc. Man, it finally broke 60. Touched 49 for a little bit. Me and you picked some up around $50. Now it's finally 60. You remember where uh uh Teledoc was before that humongous drop? It was at $90.
Yeah, well, it was like 89 something. We call it 90. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, will it get back there? I think it will. But you know what I'm saying? What I wanted to do, and I think I can speak for you, I think what we both want to do is buy these things when they on sale. You know, you've been in since around $20 area. I've been in since around the $10 area. When you get stocks like that, and I'm pretty sure everybody out there can relate. When you get stocks like that and it goes up to like 40, it may be a buy still. But since you were in so early, like, man, I ain't trying to, I've been buying this at, 10, $12.
Yeah.
I
You're
don't I ain't
buying
trying
it
to
so long.
I ain't trying to buy this at no $40. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's still good at 40.
It's probably still a great buy.
So that's what that's what I struggle with a little bit. I think you had mentioned it one time, say you struggle with that, but when it come down like that and all the indicators are there, we can point out support and resistance like 50, and then if 50 didn't hold, the next one was 45. 45, I think that was strong support. If that didn't hold, then who knows where we go after that. But I was pretty confident buying there, around the $50 area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was pretty confident about it too, because it was such a strong support right at the 49. You know what I mean? It was a really strong support. It bounced really well off of that. I personally think maybe by the end of the summer we'll probably be seeing close to 110, maybe 115. Just the way the way the chart looks.
You said the end of the month or the end of the year?
No, end of the summer. Oh, maybe August.
That's
by the end of August.
That's that Kenny Coin prediction.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
You see where they at? You see where they at right now?
$60, man. I'm pushing for at least a $50 move. It breaks if it gets past $89, $100, $110 is in the future.
I can agree with you right there. If it get past that, if it starts making new highs, it's gonna make new highs for a while. I do.
You know what I mean?
I do feel you there, but I think it's gonna be rough for them.
The new high is $89. So once it gets past that and it gets into the 90 range, I think it could easily push past and get itself in the $110 range.
All right. So what has to happen? This is what I think has to happen for that to happen by the
summer. They have to have a great earning.
Well, I think they're gonna have to have a good earnings this next earnings, because they just reported and it was okay. They're gonna have to have good earnings. They're gonna have to have an acquisition. Like,
you think so? I don't think so.
I think they're gonna have to have an acquisition.
I was looking at that. I think they need more people on to subscribe to their app. More people on their database.
I mean, yeah, they do, but I don't think that's gonna push them to 115 by the end of the summer. They need a for sure.
You know what I mean? More closer to the end of August. Because look, man, 43% revenue growth.
Yeah, but they've had super revenue growth for like 2.5 years. People don't. I don't. I mean, it's hard to predict what the general investor in Teledoc is looking for. I would think that they're looking for subscribers, like you're saying, but for it to make a $50 jump in 3.5 months, 4 months, from 60, that's almost 100% jump. You know what I'm saying? 100% jump would be another $60. You talk about, let's call it, I don't know what it is. Let's call it 90. You talk about 90% jump in 3 months. It can. I ain't saying it can't happen. I'm saying that it can happen, but I got to see the roadmap to get behind you on there, and I can't. Well, I can see it, but they just need a couple things to happen before that can happen. Or they need Trump to announce something with healthcare that he about to do something with Teledoc or something like that. Then I can see it. Which we've been calling for. We've been talking about something like that for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We've been talking about many companies picking up Teledoc. Here's why Here's why I think Teledoc would be up at 110, 105 in those type of areas, maybe close to the end of August, the beginning of September. Here's why I say that. For one reason. Who else do you know is in telemedicine?
There's a couple companies that are. I was looking at them.
You out here guessing, man.
I,
I don't know anybody else. There's a couple companies, but nah. We should know Teledoc. That's it. That's it. Like we just know Amazon.
I mean, okay, I feel you. Basically, the big picture. Basically, no one. Basically, Teledoc is in it on by themselves. But there are. I'm telling you, man. I was researching. I was researching some. There are some smaller companies that it's competition to Teledoc. Can they offer, some of the things that Teledoc can? I don't think that they can because I feel like Teledoc is the Amazon of telemedicine. But there's still, if you think about Amazon, there's still other online stores. You got Overstock.com, Jet.com. You know what I'm saying? There's room for other people. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some Asian company that's starting it up in Asia, which I feel like Teledoc needs Asia. That's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But there's quite a. The only reason why I'm saying that is number one, overseas they're doing real well. In the U.S. they're doing real well. You know what I mean? The first quarter, the total revenue, they brought in 128.6 million. That's literally almost doubled what they brought in 2018 first quarter.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Kenny coming with them numbers.
Yeah, I'm just saying they lost less money. 2018 first quarter they spent 1.4 billion. 2019 first quarter they spent 1.2 million.
Billion,
you know
or
what
million?
I mean? Million, both. Well, 2018 they spent 1.4 million, and then 2019 they spent 1.2 million. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying,
What did they spend the money on?
I don't know what it is, but they spent less.
Okay. Okay. Now I feel you. I feel what you're trying to tell me.
You know what I'm saying? So either they got a really, really good CEO and CFO, and they know how to spend their money wisely. Any company that know how to spend money wisely is going to have more money left over. You know what I mean? Net income is almost 40 million, and last year's net income was 23 million. So, that just tells you right there they're trying to make good financial decisions.
They're moving in the right direction, basically.
Of course. So, more money in their pocket, more money they can advertise.
Right. And I do feel like you mentioned something that I neglected to mention was overseas. They're still, only in about, 3 or 4 different countries, I think. I think overseas, I think they're in the UK and then maybe one other country. I can't remember. But obviously there's room for them to expand. And, if they could do something in Africa, if they could do something, obviously Asia, the Middle East, they could do something in that area. Obviously, there's super room for growth. And that's the good thing about Teledoc. What I liked about them was when I first heard about them, I felt like they were innovative, but they were only in the United States, which that made me happy because I knew they were going to expand. And when they expand, that's more money. More money means the stock price goes up. So that's why I was so high on them.
I'm with you on that. The only reason why I say I think Teledoc is going to be as high as I think they're going to be, I just think it's an opportunity to buy. I looked those other telemedicines up, and I think personally they're going to start buying those companies up.
I think so too.
Yeah, remove the competition, buy those companies up, take more of a market share. And I'm gonna be honest. Even if another company comes by and makes that offer, at this point, I hope they say no.
Teledoc they do not sell.
Yeah, I think they don't need another company to come in, because just by reading their financial statements, by looking over their entire company, they're doing well for themselves, and they're in a space that doesn't have that much competition.
I know. When I was talking to my boy in the chat, my boy Lou Digi, and he was telling me that he made a good point. He was basically telling me that almost anybody can do what Teledoc is doing unless they're white labeling uh their product. Basically meaning, are they leasing out their product so other people can use it, but then not say that they're using Teledoc? And I read, I think it was last earnings, that they do white label to like hospitals like Cleveland Clinic, stuff like that. So when you're able to when your hospital's offering the same service and they're like, hey, visit the doctor, virtually, something like that, that's actually
It's tech.
Teledoc.
Yeah.
They're leasing out their technology to, the hospitals or whoever else wants to use it, but they're paying Teledoc a fee to not have Teledoc branding on it. And Teledoc's just
Yeah.
giving it to them, let them
Right.
brand
It's probably
it
a
themselves.
large fee too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but as long as
It's a large fee, trust me. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of companies that do that, and it's not a small. It's a hefty fee.
right,
Because you're taking a certain amount of money out of their pocket.
exactly. Yeah, you are. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean. So whatever, yeah, man, get the money. Well, to me, the only reason why I see Teledoc better than any other company out there right now is because the simple fact they're covering a need.
uh huh.
They're actually finding ways to make insurance costs lower. Anybody who's trying to do that is gonna have people buying into what they're trying to do. That's all I'm saying.
Or at the very least, people are going to use it.
Yeah, people are going to use it at the very least. What do you think about Square?
Man, they took a minor hit. I added some more. I think it was at like 68. But it took a minor hit. The thing about Square, I feel like there's a lot of people coming into that, you know, sharing cash, like that Cash App kind of thing. Apple has Apple Pay. I don't have to Cash App you money anymore. I could Apple Pay it to you. I don't know what they want to call it. PayPal. PayPal's always been around. Zelle. There's a lot of competition as far as that, Cash App side of things. Now, what Square is doing as far as, merchant accounts for businesses and stuff like that. I know they have the loans and things. I haven't really been paying attention to that part. I was more focused on, can they dominate in that Cash App field? You know what I'm saying? And I think that they can, but, the I think the walls are closing in on them, man. It's like the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? How long they gonna be dominant for?
You
They got
can't,
about
man.
1 or 2 more years, and I feel like a lot of people are now. That's something that people are copying. We talked about Teledoc. Can other companies copy what they're doing? Square, people can copy that. That's easily you can
Oh
copy
yeah,
that
that's
easily.
easily copied. They're just the first one to do it.
Right,
Just
right.
like I always say, man, Bitcoin was the first one to do it. Don't mean they're a great company. They're just the first one to do something, you know. And a lot of things in this world is like, if you're the first one to do it, they're gonna reference you. Like everybody referenced Michael Jordan for his amazing acrobatic dunks and layups and stuff like that.
Right, right.
But at the same time, you know what I mean, because he's the first one to do it. It really, like, LeBron could cover all the records, no matter what.
It's
You
still
ain't
gonna
got no
have that.
6 rings.
Yeah, it's still
You know
gonna
what I
have
mean?
that Jordan something. People gonna say Jordan something at the end
Yeah,
of
you
it.
know what I mean. So like at the end of the day, it's just Square was the first one to do it, and that's why people equate Square with certain things.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
You know, man, I wanted to bring up Twitter because I had put Twitter in the first quarter
Uh huh.
at $26. It's 40, 80.
Yeah, what's up, man? I mean, Twitter
It's
had. I don't.
well, you guys should have been on Twitter though.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about Twitter. I mean, that's a part of our STAS package, man.
Yeah, we come on, man. You should have got that when it was at $12. You should have been on Twitter, man. You should have been in the your thing should say 300 to 400% by now.
I do think Twitter's vulnerable. I think they're vulnerable.
I don't think they'll ever be at that $80 level where back in the day where they were at. I don't think that ever coming.
I think that they can. I wouldn't say ever.
Now, I'm not saying that they can't. I just, my personal opinion, I just think that day is ever coming, and I don't think it's coming in the next 1 or 2 years. On to just top it at that, just because. Let's face it, man. Twitter don't know how to monetize itself. They try to do the NBA thing. They try to do the NFL thing.
Yeah, but they don't stick with it. That's the problem. They'd be like, man, we're gonna do this for a season, and it's
You
like,
know
yo,
what I mean?
you gotta offer.
You
You
know what I
gotta
mean? You
offer
can't
it.
build
Offer it.
anything in this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I realize that maybe the person who's running it, maybe they need leadership. I don't know what it is, man, but it seems like Twitter can't keep itself on a page where, like, Facebook can. And so, and Twitter is like, you don't understand, Twitter is the app where most of the things do pop off.
Yeah, you're right.
And
You're right.
it's crazy, but at the end of the day, Twitter, I believe Twitter's valuation is right where it needs to be. Market cap 3.16 billion.
31. It's 31 billion.
Oh, 31 billion.
31 billion.
31 billion. I'm a little off today, man.
It's all good.
But I think personally, I think Twitter is real good. It's up. It's just to me from 2 weeks ago to now, there's a whole $10 move.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it was around somewhere around the lower 30s. Now we up at the lower 40s. Here's why I feel like Twitter's vulnerable, and it's not. It doesn't really have anything to do with the support resistance stock chart or whatever. I feel like they're vulnerable because they started to ban people. And
oh yeah,
I understand that you're like, man, this person said something excuse me, this person said something racist, let's ban them. This person did this, let's ban them. But it's like, yo, man, just because somebody, for one thing, you don't have to follow these people that's saying hateful stuff. You don't have to see their stuff, and for another thing, hate speech is not illegal. And once you start getting into that whole stuff, like, man, this person said something hateful, and it affected me or hurt my feelings or something. Like, when does that stop? You know what I'm saying? If I come out with my own company, right, and I'm promoting it on Twitter or something, and somebody uses my product, they're like, man, this product sucks. I mean, can't I say that's hate speech towards my company? It's like, when does it stop? And I feel like that people, if they keep doing it, banning people for certain things, I think that there'll be a platform that comes out, they'll let you. They like, yo, you got full freedom of speech rights on this platform. And it's just like Twitter. And people will move.
Yeah, people will move.
Twitter, we were just talking about, it's something easily, can you copy something easily with Square and Teledoc? I mean, you could definitely easily copy Twitter. I mean,
yeah, but that's a little harder, man. Twitter didn't even take off the way. Even it took some years to people to realize what Twitter really was. You know what I mean? But hey, I agree with you 100%. You enter that space, there is no clear line. You went to that space,
right?
You went to that.
You got to start banning everybody. I mean, I be seeing stuff. Trump will tweet, and people be like, man, that's hateful, man. Why aren't you banning Trump? But then you look at some of the comments that are under it for people that are against them.
That's even.
It's like, yo,
even worse.
You got to ban these guys too. And by the time you didn't ban half the platform. Yeah.
Yeah. By the time you get through, yeah.
Just on Trump's tweet, you didn't ban half the platform.
I mean,
so I feel like they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable.
I mean, they put it. when companies put themselves, then like Facebook's starting putting themselves in that position too.
Yeah, yeah. All of these. So all it takes is for one social media company to come out like, my bad, come out and say, "Yo, this is a social media platform where you have full freedom of speech rights. We ain't gonna ban you. If somebody complain, just stop following them or block their messages."
You know what it was? You know what it was? Where Facebook went down this road and why Twitter went down this road. You know, back in like 2017, when cops were killing unarmed black people, and people were doing it on Facebook Live, and then they had that guy die on Facebook Live, like
Oh
three,
yeah,
four.
yeah, I remember that dude.
And I think that all started that road where people was just like, okay, this is kind of getting like
Out of
we
hand.
just
You like,
watched,
we
just watched a teacher die on Facebook Live with his daughter in the back seat.
right, right.
You know what I
Man, y'all
mean?
can't be filming everything out here. Like,
Yeah, now you know what I mean. It got to the point where it got so bad, and I think a lot of people I think Facebook's starting to realize, you know what I mean, we got to start censoring some of these contents.
Yo, and also remember, I think this is the same year, that 2017, 2016 year, I think. That guy, he was actually in Cleveland, in Ohio,
Yeah.
and he was just running around neighborhoods just shooting people.
Yeah, I know.
And then he was putting it on Facebook Live, like he put on Facebook Live.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it will start to affect. You don't understand? It will start to affect the companies, because once you enter that road where you start censoring stuff, you start banning stuff, you start closing down on some things. You know what I mean? That freedom goes away, and people start complaining because, you know, you can't. It's hard to use something with restrictions.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know what I mean?
I need no restrictions.
Even if you're trying to be good on there, sometimes, you know, some things you will put, even though it's not bad, it'll get restricted. Just because of the name, you know what I mean? Just because of something, it happens. I just think we're entering that realm where social media might not be the space for free speech anymore.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously it's not. Right when you ban the first person for something that they said, it turns into, you know, it's not the free speech, no platform. But I mean, Twitter, they doing good. Facebook is doing good. Obviously, you see, you know, what we called it. We said, you know, when we picked them on the second quarter, we said there's two gaps. There's a gap below, gap above. We feel like it's going at the gap above towards 200. Where is it at? You know, with 190 something. 195.47 is where they closed at the time of this recording. And so I feel like we were spot on right there, man. We don't give ourselves enough props sometimes, man.
You know what I mean? He's kind of right. We kind of but at the same time, we're so used to making those kind of plays.
Yeah, actually, you're right. We are used to doing that stuff.
Yeah, we're so used to doing it. Even when people message us and say, ask us how we do it, and it's just like that. We just, you know what I mean? When you see a chart, like I'll say it again, when you see a chart 1,000 times, and you see the same patterns 1,000 times, you know what I mean? Ain't that hard to
it's not really
eventually put it together and just say, okay.
You
know what I mean?
The thing about the stock market, though, because I feel what you're saying, but the thing about the stock market, though, sometimes when you tell people about, hey, you know, I saw this coming, I bought this, and then people, the first thing they say is, well, you know, you ain't rich, you know, and I'm like, yo, sometimes I just say, like, first of all, you know, people be hating sometimes, and second of all, the stock market really isn't a place where you're going to get rich. You can get rich. You can get rich. But the stock market is a place where you put and you grow wealth faster than you would grow it in like a more traditional way, like a savings account, stuff like that. That's what the stock market is for. You grow your money at an accelerated rate compared to, you know, doing a savings account or something like that. That's generally what the stock market is for. Can you get rich? You definitely can get rich.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. There's millions of people that have done it before. It's not, you know what I mean. To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Stock market, the way I see it, is you have to the best way to put it, you have to have a generational family, and somebody got to start it. And the first person that started ain't gonna be more likely ain't gonna be rich. Now, by the time he dies, he'll be there, or you know what I mean.
Close.
Either his family will be real close, and
Right.
then it takes a while. You understand? A lot of these families that do this investing, and that's why back in the day it was for mentally for rich people, because the truth is, it's like you had 3-4 generations down that have been learning about investing for over 150 years, 200 years, you know, and so eventually they know how to take care of that money. So to them, $1 million it's a small amount of money, where to us, where it's a large amount of money.
Right.
I use
Right.
the stock market for two things, man. Sometimes, man, at the end of the year, I get big chunks of cash just because I invested in the right stock at the right time, or I use it as a vehicle to raise funds for myself to either buy a house or buy something, and I don't really have to, put money in the bank of my own money. For example, if you got Teledoc and you bought it at 10, you know what I mean, and you put $1,000 in it, how much is it worth now?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's
it's
that's
about
how I see it.
it's about, well, if you got it at 10, tell like that's a 600% move because you got from 10 to 60.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what I
600%
mean,
move.
and that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that people need to see it as a vehicle of moving their money. You know what I mean? You make 1,000, you turn it to, say, for example, you turn it to 10, 15,000, and you go buy yourself a house.
Right. The same thing the plug do, man. Same
Yeah,
thing the
you
plug do.
know
Plug
what I mean?
sip his
It's
money.
business, man. Now, I mean, because you open a convenience store, that means your convenience store is gonna make you $1 million. Nah,
Right. You gotta wait a little bit, man.
you gotta wait. You know what I mean? That convenience store, it might make 250K that year. Take 100 grand, go buy a real estate property. Then 2 years later, it makes another 250K. Take another 100 grand and buy another property. Next minute, wealth is being built. That convenience store is making him 250K. Now his properties are making him 10 grand a month. You know, it's just wealth is not built on one base income.
Yeah.
It's just it's rarely few.
Dang, man. We at the end of the podcast. We should have talked about this earlier. Right?
I'm
Shut it
just
up.
no, I mean, I'm just saying a lot of people get it like wrong. It's like you should use the stock market as a vehicle to get something else, not just to see it as building wealth, which it can do that. A convenience store obviously can build you wealth. You can make $1 million. A convenience store can make $1 million. We're not saying that stock market you can make yourself $1 million. Matter of fact, you make yourself $1 billion.
Yeah, you can
It's
make an unlimited amount in the stock market if
you
you
can
want to, but you
you
gotta be
can make a little
disciplined.
amount of money.
You
You know
gotta
what
be
I mean?
disciplined though.
You just got to be disciplined. And like Warren Buffett said, and people say your investment strategy is so simple. You know what I mean? Why doesn't people do it? And that's the question everybody asks them, is because nobody wants to make their money slow.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Warren Buffett,
You know
an
what I mean?
old cat, man. Old cat. I mean, but he
Man,
didn't
that's
have
what
money
this.
forever though. Well, this is what
You
I'm
know what I
saying. He
mean?
didn't have money for a while, but I'm saying he didn't just
Who?
acquire it overnight.
Yeah, and no, he's right. Nobody wants to make money slow. You know what I mean? But the truth is, man, you want your money to last forever, you better make it slow as possible. You know what I mean? And that's the truth, because it's factual, man. Because like I seen it. I seen people who make money fast, and in a year or two, it's gone. And I seen people who took 5-6 years to make $1 million, and they're worth $20 million now. It's just it's just the process of thinking. Wealth is not built overnight, and real true wealth is not built in 10 years. You know,
Marathon money.
that's how it works.
Marathon money. Yo, man, but follow me on Twitter at Camboni11. Follow me on Instagram, anything stock, twits, whatever, even Snapchat. I don't use it, but I got it. Camboni11.
That
Camboni.
company that company should have sold to Facebook. Yo, I laugh at that every day.
So, and then follow us on Spotify. Marathon Money, our podcast is on Spotify. You can support the podcast by Cash App and Marathon Money. Shout out to LaDon in our chat.
Seriously, man, I
Supported the
appreciate it.
podcast. And also, what else we got? I think that's it, man. What about you, Kenny?
Man, hit me up, Kenny Collins on Twitter with 2 N's in the middle. Kenny Collins 23 on Instagram. I really appreciate you supporting the podcast. I wish more people come out and support us. Trying to get this a little bit bigger. We got some recognition. A lot of people are reviewing us.
Yeah, shout out to everybody reviewing, man. That's cool.
Yeah, seriously. We found out we're on we're on a lot of websites. There's some websites where we're ranked 30 out of 500 podcasters. So really, we're starting to really get up there. You don't really get noticed until you start getting in the top 10. That's how it works. So, that's how you start breaking out some light.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody that's been with us since the days we were terrible, man. Remember them first podcasts? They were horrible. So we was sounding like Beavis and Butthead over there, man.
But all I'm saying is I appreciate. Thank you so much. Let's keep going strong. Let's try to get this thing bigger. I feel like we can bring a different style of investing to people that, it's not just for the rich. We can make this a lot bigger. Marathon money, long term, quick money. Don't need it.
I'll take some quick money. I'll take some.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take some quick money, but quick money goes by fast. Trying to get these guys to have these wealth that next 2 generations is set.
Right, exactly. We trying to shift that. What they call it, income inequality or wealth. I forgot what it is. My boy DJ Step One, he told me about it. I forgot the name of it, but we just trying to change things, basically. How your outlook on money in general. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like just student debt alone. Last time I said student debt alone is to prove that we don't respect money and we don't use it wisely. So,
all right, man. Till next week.
Peace.
Peace.